Hi, this is Kelly Valenti, and welcome to the first video series that I'm doing for you. It's part one of three, and I'm going to bring these to you over the next few days. And I really wanted to answer the really big question that I get asked a lot, and that is it possible to heal my body or to be proactive in the healing process? And because I hear that autism is on the rise and eczema and skin disorders are a big problem, and autoimmune diseases and gut disorders like leaky gut and so on are huge issues for a lot of people. And so people want to know, is it possible to heal? The question is, or the question I answer is yes, it can. The unpopular answer, though, is going to be I'm going to ask you to have to give up a lot of the things that you're so accustomed to eating, like prepackaged foods, going to the drive-thru all the time, all of our convenience lifestyle that we've gotten so used to living. Um, you'll find, though, that the food tastes so really good when you start preparing foods in your own home, and you get away from all of the processed foods. You'll find that foods, and I will say healthy foods, taste good, because I get that a lot too. Healthy foods don't taste good. Well, again, I guess that kind of goes down to how you're preparing. Um, well, let's talk about the 80-20 rule. If I could get you to say that your health, because the big question I would ask you is, how important is your health to you? How important is your health, is the health of your family? And if your resounding answer is it's really important, actually, it's one of the main focuses that I have, I would say fabulous. Let's get you to the 80-20 rule. And what I mean by the 80-20 rule is 80% of the time you are focused on good quality food, not prepackaged, not living off convenience, and then the other 20% of the time, we're allowed to be humans. That we go to a party, or we go to cookouts, or we go to work functions, and the food choices might not be the healthiest. There are ways to get around doing that as well. But again, if we could get to the point where 80% of the time we're being really, really good, and we allow ourselves to be human the other 20% of the time, that's a fabulous place to start. Tomorrow, I'm going to talk to you a little bit more about the low fat, no fat. And I have a pretty good point of view about that, and some things that I really want to share with you. But today I really want to dive into also, let's talking about sugar consumption. In this country and in many other countries, we consume a lot of sugar. It's in so many of the foods that we eat, in the foods that are drinks that we consume. If you're a big pop drinker, you're consuming a lot of sugar, and our children are consuming that as well. And so I don't know if you've heard in the news recently, they've really been talking a lot about sugar being like the next crack cocaine. And some people laugh about that, and other people go, yeah, I don't know about that. And other people go, wow, I hadn't heard that. But it really is, if you think about how when you're consuming the sugar into your body, do you ever think about, wow, it tasted really good, I want more of that, because it makes you feel kind of good. It gives you that up feeling. You get your blood sugar gets jacked up, and it does make you feel, an euphoric feeling. The problem with that is, though, that it's chemically induced to make you want to do this again and again and again and again. So it's not all your fault that you're still consuming all the sugar that you're consuming. The trick in this is kind of going through okay, have you ever tried to get off caffeine? And there's a withdrawal process. So it's the same thing with sugar. You're going to go through that little bit of a withdrawal. Again, not going to be so unpleasant that it's going to kill you, because some people get that, oh my gosh, I can't do this, it's really hard. How bad do you want it? How bad do you want your health? How bad do you want to take back control of your life? And so going through 4 or 5 days of a little bit of withdrawal, is it worth it? Absolutely. Because you'll find on the other side of that, you'll come back with you don't even crave it anymore. Or if you do, it's very seldom. And then, there are other healthier things to put in that you can satisfy that sweet tooth, and we can talk about that further. I really do have a really great story to share with you about a young man who I've had the pleasure of working with and talking to a lot. And his story is incredible. His body literally started failing him. He had no idea why. He went from being so very active, and he was in college at the time, and um, he went from, I mean, hugely active, being involved in all kinds of offices at school, to literally he had to drop out of school. His body just failed. And the doctors couldn't explain why. He got very frustrated. I mean, literally, it left him in bed. He couldn't function. And so, through a series of a lot of digging, a lot of being willing to be open for suggestions, be open for, wow, if they can't figure it out, it's not going to, certainly not going to hurt for me to take actions into my own hands. And through this, again, it's been a process. Again, the body is miraculous in its ability to heal itself. It just needs to be given the right platform, the right foods, eliminate the toxins, and it can heal himself. Today, he's doing really, really, really well. He still hasn't introduced gluten back into his system, but everything else he's doing fine with. He went on to finish school. So again, the body is capable of doing miraculous things. We just have to be able to help it, if that makes sense. And so I hope this was helpful for you today, and to give you a little bit of insight and things to think about. So homework for you today is, I want you to take that, thinking about that 80-20 list or rule. I want you to make a list of all the things that you know that would be easy for you to just give up and not do, not purchase. I could make these on my own, instead of like the box macaroni and cheese as an example, because that's a big one for kids. Or the pizzas. Could I make my own pizza crust and make my own? How can I get my family involved in doing that? Could I make my own macaroni and cheese out of healthy pastas and cheeses, etc.? Kind of see where I'm going. So make a list of the things that you know you could give up, or you could substitute. Not necessarily have to give up, because we like our favorite stuff, don't we? So what could you substitute for making healthier? Chicken nuggets is a big one for kids. Could you make your own homemade? Do you see where I'm going with this? So and then maybe on the other side of that paper, write down the things that you know are going to be big trigger points for you. Are you a pop drinker? Do you drink a lot of pop? Write that down if you think that's going to be a hard thing for you. So anyway, I'll leave you with a little bit of homework. Kind of start thinking about all of this, and I'm really looking forward to seeing you tomorrow in your inbox. Hope you have a great day. Bye.